Let's talk research. For speech number 2, you need 4 credible published sources. And anytime we're using research, you want to make sure that you look at the following 5 criteria. First is recency. How recently was this article published or book published? And the material, if it's too old, it will lack credibility. If you want to use an older source, you need to make sure you source support it with a newer source that goes on to stay or supports that material in some kind of way. When I first started teaching public speaking 20 years ago, recency meant 5 to 10 years because we were dealing with books and publication and that kind of methods. Now, with the internet, I would say 6 months to a year, maybe 2 years. Publication dates are something that you can play with as you research. If you're getting too many sources, narrow down your publication dates to the more recent sources. If you're not getting enough sources, expand your frame so that you can research for older sources because you need something there. So you want to think about recency and how recently was that source published and why you're using it. Second, published and by whom. Research that you use in a speech in general should be published material, and also which group or individual is doing the publication. What group is willing to take responsibility for that material? The next step, check the bias of your source. If you're giving a speech about gun control and you're only citing Fox News, your sources are going to be skewed in a conservative manner. On the same platform, if you're going to give a speech about Planned Parenthood and you only cite Huffington Post, your sources are equally as skewed. So you've got to check the bias of your sources to figure out if that bias is working against you or for you. Variety. You want to make sure that you have a variety of sources. If your audience hears Boston Globe, Boston Globe, Boston Globe, Boston Globe, it doesn't look like you did your research. It looks like you picked up a newspaper. So instead, you want to find a variety of research, and that's why I suggest using different types of academic search engines. The fifth criteria for a credible source is fit to content. Does the article say what you say it says, and does it support the arguments and content that you're going for? As far as research is concerned, you can find a lot of good information on Google or Google Scholar. You can also find a lot of bad information. On Google, you're going to sift through all kinds of publications that are .coms or .net that doesn't have any kind of credibility. And on Google Scholar, you're going to have to pay for the information that you get. Instead, I would recommend that you use academic search engines such as EBSCOhost or Nexus Uni. EBSCOhost is academic search articles, is used for academic articles, and Nexus Uni is national and international newspapers and magazines. Whenever I'm researching, I use these two search engines because it inherently gives me a variety of research. Have my students found crap sources on there? Sure, but they're far and few between compared to something like a Google search.